Well, Bitcoin right now is in extreme fear. Yesterday, we were just in fear level. We were about to, I mean, like basically in Saturday, beginning of Sunday, things were calming down. We were at 62,000, seemed like, or a little bit above, or 61,000. It seemed like we were dissipating. The fear was dissipating. We were going into neutral. But then, things picked up again, some selling, and now we're at extreme fear level. Okay. Um, this is kind of like one of those. This is kind of one of those like measurements, if you ask me. Just like when people say, "Well, death cross is looming." It's one of those measurements. Like the lower we go, the more the higher the chance that we're gonna turn around, right? Or the closer we are to capitulation or short-term capitulation. We have seen this many, many, many times where it has dipped down to extreme fear, and in fact, right now at 25, we're as fearful as February of 2023. February 2023, that was when Bitcoin was at what, 20,000, right? So again, the fear level doesn't quite make sense. Well, it is what it is. It doesn't make sense because retail investors should not be in this extreme fear level, the same level as when Bitcoin was still hovering around 20,000. That doesn't make any sense, right? But the good thing is, whenever we do have a metric like this, the fear index, it does, like I said, it does indicate whether or not a turnaround is happening, right? Because basically it's just based on capitulation, and it basically forecasts what the retail investors are feeling and what they're doing, right? But again, I've said this before, when Bitcoin fell down to 49,000 before, and when Bitcoin fell down to 53,000 before, and all the previous times, right? It doesn't make much sense that fear is this high when we are at the level we are versus in 2022, 2023, when everything was collapsing. It was the bottom of crypto winter. Bitcoin was hovering around 15, 16, under $20,000. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense considering that since then till now, which is only like 2 years ago or 1.5 years ago, Bitcoin is up like 300% since then, right? Take a second and think about that. How does that make sense? You should not be panicking considering what I just said. We're up like 300% since our bottom, and that was only a year and a half ago. And even though we're not at 60,000 right now, but we're pretty close, but still, why would you be panicking when everything is still according to plan? Why Bitcoin is poised to break 74,000 by the end of this year? That's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. We could break 74K by the end of this week. Bitcoin, we know, moves very, very fast. Very fast indeed. Just a little bit of money pushes it upwards. Then we get short squeezes. Let's go push it up even more, right? So are we breaking 74,000? Are we going to break into new high territory by the end of this year? Yes. I still maintain that Bitcoin will break into six-figure territory by the end of this year, which means Bitcoin by December will be above, and sometime in December, be above $100,000. I still wholeheartedly think that is 100% coming. It does not matter what has happened now. Like I said, Bitcoin moves really, really quickly. We can jump 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 in no time. We have seen it before. Within a single month, we have seen tremendous gains. Right? And right now, we're in one of those boring periods, extreme fear periods, even though we should not be in extreme fear. But just wait until September comes, when the rate cuts start happening. In November, elections. And in December, Santa rally. We got a lot of time. Marathon is raising $250 million more to buy Bitcoin. Okay, that's $250 million. And they bought $100 million in July, and currently holding 20,000 Bitcoin. Right, kind of makes sense that one of the biggest miners start accumulating more Bitcoin, right? But still, that's enormous amount of money. That's not chump change. They're raising $250 million to buy more Bitcoin, and they bought 9 figures worth, right? I think that's 9. Yeah, nine figures worth of Bitcoin in July alone, right? Because they know. They know Bitcoin strategy works, just like as worked for MicroStrategy, which is why so many public trade companies are now doing the same thing. This is staggering, okay? You look at MicroStrategy up nearly 1,000% since when they implemented the Bitcoin strategy versus the Magnificent Seven, which includes the likes of NVIDIA and Facebook and Apple and Microsoft, right? Even though they have done very, very well in the last 4 years, MicroStrategy has outperformed them 5x. And even though gold has done really well, gold is up 20% since 2020. 20% to 1,000% just does not compare. And I don't know why the Bitcoin percentage left out, but I know that MicroStrategy has outperformed even Bitcoin. So obviously the Bitcoin strategy is working and Wall Street loves it. That's why so many people are embracing Bitcoin. And look at a country like El Salvador, who continues to add 1 Bitcoin per day, according to Bukele. That's not going to change. But man, they have $333 million worth of Bitcoin. And because of their Bitcoin ambitions, now they plan on building a Bitcoin city. A Bitcoin city. That looks crazy. Okay. A $1.6 billion private investment to build a Bitcoin city, right? So Bitcoin changes lives. Bitcoin now is changing countries too. So that's amazing. If that gets built, that will be absolutely amazing. Especially if you look at a satellite image of this, how cool would that be? If you want to comment on anything I've said in this video, make sure you head over to the Roundtable. The Roundtable is a new social media platform created for conversations. And best of all, it's spam-free, bot-free, unlike here on YouTube. And you could have conversations with me and others like Altcoin Daily, Scott Melker, Mauro Nafal, and many others are joining daily. And you also get rewarded in tokens for doing so. So check out the new Roundtable. Click the link in the description below.